Hello everybody, this is me CA Ramshad again here. So all your CMA exams are done finally, so you just relax first of all and just keep calm and be happy. Now, when our CFR exams were done, many of my students requested to do a review video or MCQ solution and a faculty feedback ready. At that time, I told them, you just keep moving on to the next exam, because I personally feel that it's not right to do a review video during the exam. So because if I did a review video, my students will watch it, and maybe due to that their focus from the next exam may be decreased. So because that may dilute their confidence or mindset, right? So if I did a review video at that time, maybe I could get more YouTube watch, but I always value my students and their well-being, so that's why I intentionally waited to complete all the exams. So now comes up with a detailed analysis and a honest review of our CFR June 25 exam. So in this video, we are discussing 6 matters. First of all, I will make a total analysis of CFR and MCQ solution and descriptive questions analysis and detailing. I'll never do all the solution, but I'll give you a hint of some new question or tricky question. Clear? And at the end, I will say my comments. I'll never say my comments first of the video, because I have to prove and I have to make you feel that this was a question they tested. Ready? And then I'll say how should their evaluation and what you have to do after the exam. So watch till the end. All your single minutes will be respected as usual, as I say, right? Now, so after watching this video, you can comment your feedbacks. Ready? Everything clear? Now, moving on to the total exams. So there were 15 MCQs that was compulsory. So when we coming into total analysis, but before coming into this analysis and comments, this is all my perspective, and I'll say normally what happened to my students from the exam hall. Ready? So maybe you felt so when the CFR exams were done, many of my students said their feedbacks, and some of them said the exam was easy but lengthy. That was some students comment. But most of the students said the paper is a moderate paper, but some of the students said paper is bit tough. Ready? So in this video, I'll give a detailed analysis. So first of all, from MCQ 30 marks, there was 24 easy question. Ready? I'll say how it become easy. Ready? I'll come to the detailed solution. That out of that 24, 60 mark was a ditto question they tested from our MCQ marathon. So we uploaded a separate marathon video. So by watching that, you could easily get that 16 mark. And a 6 mark question, which was not easy but bit tricky, but easy, but that's a manageable if you cover that topics. That's it. I'm not saying that's tough, but that's manageable, but that's not easy. Ready? That's it. Now in descriptive question, so from my analysis, they tested 56 mark. Which was a ditto question, either from ICMA study material or from my material. Ready? That's it. That means 56 mark was totally a ditto question. So in short, in my analysis, I'll make you prove that. Ready? Just keep watching on. This 24 plus 56, that's around around 80 mark. 80 mark was a familiar questions. Ready? But in coming into descriptive question, they tested 28 mark, which is not a ditto, but that's a manageable question if you cover that topic. Ready? Ready? And they tested 40 mark, some new question. Clear? That's it. Okay. So first of all, when we coming into detailed clarities, so first I'm coming into MCQ solution. So there were 24 MCQs they tested, which was easy. So first of all, I'll show you the 16 mark ditto questions. Okay, so now coming into ditto question first. Ready? So I clearly said the reference from my marathon PDF. Ready? So this was a PDF I just discussed from marathon video. Ready? So I just gave the reference. Ready? MCQ page number 82. Ready? So this was the same question. Clear? Okay. Like this, there are around eight questions they tested solely from this ditto. So first coming into this question, this MCQ, this was a question from a financial instrument, which of the when objectives of holding financial assets does not include collection of cash flow by selling financial asset, such financial assets are measured at amortized cost. I don't know whether you could answer it, but this was a straight answer. Ready? And the second question, pakka basic and easy question from government accounting. It's highly repeated one because the chairman of public accounts committee and chairman of public accounts committee will be appointed by Lok Sabha speaker, right? That's it. And C&AG will be appointed by President of India. So the option C is a correct answer. Ready? And third question, dash requires when CFS are prepared, when investor company shall prepare individual or standalone financial statement, so which are named as separate financial statement. So that means in this 27, which requires separate financial statements. So this the answer is in this 27. So the same question which shown in 81 in my MCQ marathon. Ready? So that was our answer. Clear? Ready? So now the fourth question, Pindari Limited changes its method of valuation of inventory from weighted average to first in. So it's a change in policy. So that's it. So the accountant opines that in this 8 is applicable. So Pindari should account its a change in accounting policy and account it for retrospectively. That's a right answer. So this is the same question we done in our marathon MCQ question 35. This was a question. You can see the same kind of question. Ready? That's it. Now the fifth question was a new question. I'll come to that later. Ready? Now the another ditto question was C Limited acquires 60% of N Limited for 97.5 lakh. So that's a cost of investment. Fair value of net asset is 150 lakh. Fair value of 40% equity shares owned by NCI. So they give fair value of NCI. So if we calculate NCA on data acquisition by using fair value method, then this is a NCA amount, and carrying amount of net asset is 120 lakh. Calculate the goodwill, but this is a NCA as per fair value method, but they want to say NCA is measured at proportionate net asset method. So at that time goodwill can be calculated. Cost of investment in 97.5 plus NCA on data acquisition based on proportionate net asset method. Net assets fair value is 150. Ready? So we never take carrying amount. We take fair value of net asset 150 into 40. That is a proportionate net asset method NZA. Clear? Ready? 60 lakh. So then minus net asset 150, then you will get 7.5. So the same kind of question we done many times in our marathon. Ready? So you can see a similar kind of question. MCQ 53. Ready? Another question from government accounting IJS is related to. There was a government accounting. I said from the classroom, you just remember the names of standards. So this was I said, you maybe remember. So this was a standard. So same question we are also given in MCQ. I'm not showing complete. You can check with this PDF. Ready? So this may be in your hand. If you're not in your hand, you can connect with us in the number given in the description box. So the next question again tested in my MCQ marathons, a similar kind of question. So this was a simple question from ANAYSIS 21 Forex. Ready? So an entity purchased a plant from foreign supplier $3 million on 1st January. So at that time exchange rate is rupee dollar quotation is 72. So remember at that time when they purchased an asset, that will be recorded at initial spot rate. So the planned account debit to creditors. Ready? So 3 million into 72 you will get 216. So at the end at the entity's year end 31st March, amount has not yet been paid. That means the amount is done on a credit mode. Clear? The closing rate 75. So the creditors has to be remeasured. So at that time any exchange loss will be recognized into P&L. This is what we discussed. Ready? So how much is the exchange difference? 3 rupee into 3 million, you will get 9. So in short, which is the correct answer? Cost of the plant 216. Ready? So clear? 216 and exchange loss 9 million, trade payable become 225 because 216 plus 9 you will get 225. So the option A. So similar kind of question again we tested from MCQ 36. Clear? Now again my 11th question is a very easy question. Consolidated financials are required to be prepared by ANAYSIS, a compliant company having either subsidiary, that means sole control, or significant or joint. I think everybody could do that. So this was a MCQ similar to 81 in my reference. 81. Clear? And then next question is a Pakka easy question from ANAYSIS 1 or 2 share based payment. PUVA Limited grants 100 equity options to each of 4,000 employees conditional on their continuing in service for 3 years. So fair value of equity share option on the grant date is 60. Nominal value is 10. What is the remuneration expense for each year? So since there is no change in employees number, ready? So we will do symbol 100 into 4,000 into 60, that's a fair value, into 1 by 3 or divide by 3. So then you will get 80 lakh. Ready? That's it. Such an easy question. I don't know if you done it wrongly. So what I have to say. Ready? Now the next ditto question was they tested from this. Ready? On 1st Jan 25, Shiva Limited entered into a contract with Kalpi to sell 50 laptops at a price 50,000 per laptop, and goods were delivered on February. But determined that revenue to be recognized in this year if 4 sets were found damaged at the time of receiving and hence returned. So in short, during that year they sold 50, but out of that 4 was returned. So only 46 is really sold. So what is the revenue recognized? 23 lakhs. So that's it. Very easy question. A similar kind of question, not laptop. Instead of that, they asked it sanitization. We done. Clear? That's it. So now again we have some basic question. Mahi and Pooja amalgamated a new company, Majo Limited with a shares of 10 each. So new company share value is 10 rupee to take over. So these are amalgamation. So net assets of Mahi and Pooja they giving. So but when you total this net 90.5 plus 97, so which is 187, but their PC is not that. Ready? Because when they did negotiation, there will be some gain on bargain purchase. So they clearly say PZ in amount is called as 130. And now question is, how many PZ in shares in Majo Limited will be issued to Mahi? So remember, to both the company, the new company paid 130. Out of that, what is the number of shares? 130 is the total PZ divided by per share value of new company is 10. So 30 lakh shares totally issued. Out of that, 30 lakh shares issued to Mahi will be based on this proportion. So 90.5 divided by 9. So which is the answer will be A. A basic amalgamation PZ kind of. So if you just apply the basic common sense of PZ calculation, I think you could this. Ready? That's it. Now this was a question they tested from value added statement. Clear? That's it. So sales revenue total, this purchase of raw material, decrease in stock. Decrease in stock is like a outflow. Ready? That like an extra expense than this purchase. Then printing and stationery, auditor fee, rent and rates, wages and salary, depreciation. What is the total value added? So out of that turnover is this purchase, you deduct decrease in stock, printing and stationery, audit fee, rent and rates. But this and this is just a distribution to employees and to others. So only 450 is a total value added. Clear? That's it. So now this was a pakka easy question from NBFC. If you just know this provisions rate, then you can easily score this 2 mark. Illustration 1, similar question from study materials. So you can see this answer. This will be 354. Ready? 0.4 standard asset provision we will give a 10% on substandard, 20% on doubtful, secured up to so I mean there's a D1 category, there's a D2 category. Clear? Then you will get this. You can check it. Ready? Then this was another question which was a step sale question, step acquisition not, but similar question they tested from illustration 11. In most of my classes I done it. Clear? Illustration 11 ICMA page number 311, same ditto question they tested. So I'll read it. On 1st April 24, BM acquired 90% for 10 lakhs. So that's a cost of investment. At that time, the net asset was 10 lakh. During 1/4/24 to 31st, the CM made a total income 2 lakh. On that date, BM Limited sold 15% to outsiders. So what is a gain creditor to other equity? So I said that when we sell our holding, so this is a control to control sale. So when we sell it, NCA will be increased. NCA will be increased, we will credit. And bank will be increased, we debit. So how much is the sale consideration? 2,20,000. But on the day of sale, how much is the NCA of 15%? So here NCA method is not specified. If NCA method is not specified, then we said the default method is proportionate method. That is what we usually do. So as per that, as per proportionate method, NCA on data question, how much is the net asset? 10 lakh. 10 lakh into 15% you will get 150,000. 1,50,000. Clear? 1,50,000 plus 30,000. That is a share of post. How much is it? 2 lakh into 15%. That is 1,80,000. So the 2,20,000 versus 1,80,000. So the profit is 40,000. So this is the last MCQ. So now they tested a new question, and it's not new, but that's a good question. Clear? So now this was a question from from Index 116. So in that case, so here the question is actually to calculate minimum lease payment. So we clearly discussed minimum lease payment. So that means lease payment, you remember my slide. Just a minute. Okay, so you remember my slide. This lease payment covers periodical lease payment, which includes fixed lease payment and variable. But variable lease payment only covers LIBOR CPI index related payment. There's no other contingent consideration. Clear? Then guaranteed residual value, price of purchase option if it is reasonably certain minus lease incentive. This was a lease payment. Clear? So now if you know this you could easily do that. Let's see. A Limited took an asset for 5-year lease for which relevant data. Payment over the lease term. So 1,000 per month. That means for 1 year, 12,000. So 12,000 into 5 years. So fixed annual lease payment is 60,000. Clear? That's it. Now contingent rent. Actually, this contingent rent is a variable consideration, but any rent which is not linked to LIBOR or CPI will not be taken in lease payment because there is a contingency whether we will pay or not. Ready? So it will never be included. So you must be remembered that it's not a variable consideration linked to LIBOR, so we will never include it. And any cost or tax, it is not coming in that definition, so you just apply a brain. So this actually this was actually not seen. So if you could apply that minimum sense during that exam hall, I don't know, you got that spark. Ready? If you got that spark, you can apply that. So then residual value will be included and fair value of asset, that is 6,000. But if lease agreement covers a price of purchase option, if it is reasonably certain, then we have to include it. So there's a statement: A Limited has an option to purchase asset after a period of 5 years at 2,000. So there is a purchase option which is reasonably certain, so we will include it. So total 67,000, that is a lease payment. Clear? So I'm not saying that is a ditto question, but that's easily manageable question if you covered that topic. So that's it. So around they tried to cover all the Indes, especially. Ready? Almost Indes. So out of this you can see 8 question that was a complete ditto question. Ready? So from that you can score 16 mark. Then you can see other easy question. Apart from that, 3 questions. So I'll select, if you were my students, you could easily score 25 mark, except that 3 question. Maybe this question, maybe first question, maybe you can't do that. I don't know. Ready? So, and then I personally feel this question and this question, this step sale question. Ready? So അത് മാത്രമാണ് ഞാൻ പേഴ്സണലി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടാതിരിക്കാണ് എങ്കിൽ വരിക. റെഡി? സോ ഇതാണ് സ്വാഭാവികമായിട്ട് ഒരു നോട്ട് ന്യൂ, ബട്ട് യു ക്യാൻ ഓൾസോ ഡു ദാറ്റ്, ബട്ട് ഐ എം നോട്ട് ക്ലെയിമിങ് ഇറ്റ്, യു ക്യാൻ ഡു ഇറ്റ്. So in my analysis, apart from that, you just check yourself. നിങ്ങൾ കൂളായിട്ട് തോന്നുന്ന അനലൈസ് ചെയ്ത് നോക്ക്, നമ്മൾ പഠിപ്പിച്ചതല്ലാത്തത് കവർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ എന്ന്. റെഡി? സോ യാ, ബട്ട് ദിസ് 3 question മേ ബി എക്സാം പ്രഷറിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ എന്ന് അറിയില്ല. ബട്ട് അപ്പാർട്ട് ഫ്രം ദാറ്റ്, റെസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് 24 mark, it's a easy question. So now you feel that what I said. Now coming into descriptive question. Clear? So we're not taking too much time on screen, so we just straightly go. Ditto question 56. There's a familiar question. Clear? That's it. Familiar question. Clear? Shradhikam. Let's see that question. So first of all, this is a question. In this 16 PPE illustration to 8 exact ditto. I'll show you. Okay, so you can take page number 23, the same question they repeated. Ready? This was a good question. I said you have to work out. There is a high chance. If you remember, I discussed this question from the video and in offline classes very well. Ready? That's it. So they did just added 2 zeros. When you check it, they just added 2 zeros. Clear? So now coming into this analysis, there are around 56 mark ditto question. I just cleared all the reference correctly. So this 2A question from Index 16, illustration 8, ICMA 23. I'm not discussing from the screen. If you want, you can check that video. Ready? That's it. Clear? Now the second ditto is 3A 7 mark in this 115. This was a question. Ready? First, I'm just go through the ditto question they tested. I will not discuss that in the video. Clear? So there's a question. There's the same question many times we done. Discount coupon voucher question. Ready? So there's a question from my material, page number 377. Question number 3A. You can take my material. You can see the question there. Ready? 377. Same question. Clear? 377. This is the same question we done again this from the classroom. Ready? And remember what is the beauty? Look at this. When I did the last rememberings for exam, I done questions which I just listed. You have to do this questions. You must go through this. Out of that, I just objected to do illustration 8. That is tested. 7 mark. Then when we coming into Index 115, Index 115, I said illustration 24. The same question they tested. So that means in this question they tested the same question, illustration 24 in our material. Clear? That's it. So coming into the next ditto question, internal reconstruction. Page number 4B. Ready? That's it. Page number 4B. It's a question number 4B. Indian reconstruction. This was we given in our page number 391 previous year question 4B. Clear? Ready? So this is a question actually. It's 4B. 4B. This is a question. Clear? This is a question 4B. Clear? Okay, that's the same question they tested. So if you look at my page number, let me check it. 391. Just a minute. You can see the same question there. Parallel same question. I'll show you. I'm not discussing it. So if it was a ditto question, I'll never give any hint. You just, I think probably Indian reconstruction. Yeah. So this is a question. They question the same question, the similar type of question. Clear? You can check it. There's a adjustment. The similar pattern of question. You can see it. Ready? So that's it. Clear? You can check it. 7 mark. Ready? I'm not discussing it. So the next ditto question is consolidation, complete question. So, and remember, if you're not done that previous year question, still you can do if you covered that Indian reconstruction, because that is a damn easy question. Usually they're tested. Clear? That's it. Ready? And this was, I also objected. You have to cover Indian reconstruction from the business combination. You have to cover this question 11 and 12 from my material. Then you could easily do this type of question also. Ready? Another question is consolidation, complete consolidation question 4. That's like a marathon question. So remember, I objected you have to cross question 6. So when you take my last date CFR strategy, you can see the same question I objected. You have to do this question, illustration June, question 6, June 24, page number 394, the same question they tested. So that means if you see this question, this consolidation question, that means There's a question. Ready? Same question. Actually, there is a first they give, and there is a fair value adjustment on current and non-current. NCA is to be measured based on the PZ. That's it. PZ based. That means cost of investment divided by percentage of control into percentage of NCA. Impairment of goodwill. And unrealized profit and pre-acquisition dividend. But whether it is pre-acquisition or post-acquisition, I said the dividend adjustment, then proposed dividend. But actually this proposed dividend will never affect our consolidation. You just give a notes to accounts. That's it. So the same question you can see in our material. You can see this question. Ready? Same question. Ready? And when I was covered the last day's revision, so maybe if you are covering my online group, online classes, I said in the day before you have to cover this question marathon, and I gave that detailed answer cue. So if you remember that, this is a question. Clear? That's it. So that was a 14-mark question. Another question is from theory part. Ready? When we coming into theory part, this is a question exact ditto which I was clearly given as XBRL benefits. So if you remember my classes, you see this benefits, and I just gave mnemonics, mad improved cost. If you remember this, you could easily write that. So that's it. There's no surprises on theory question. They just asked the usual question. Then next, government CAG duties related to loans given. So in government accounting, there's a topic we covering, and in our PDF, there's a question I gave. Ready? So if you take my page number 340, so I gave that reference here. That's it, 340. You can see the same answer there. So you could have learned it. Ready? There was a 4 points which I clearly scripted. Then another question is GASAB responsibility, and mention IJS, some IJS notified. So this is also you can check in our material 344. Ready? So in ICMA material, there is also same kind of theory. So in our material, I gave that's it, this responsibility. I said from the revision strategy, you have to learn it must. Then this 3, you have to just mention this IJS, ready, notified by the ministry. So I said you just go through the names. You remember, you don't need to learn it principle all the standard, but you must go through the names. So that is there tested. Now the next question is equity method question 87. Last question, usually they're tested. There's a question, but I'm not saying it is an exact ditto question of but almost same ditto. But idile oru extra point avaru test cheythu additional depreciation aanu. Nammal orupaadu consolidation question lokke parayunnathaanu additional depreciation due to revaluation adjustment. Ade avaru extra aayittu choichitullu. Apart from that, it's an illustration 1 which I was done as an equity method. Adila they added an additional depreciation that I'll discuss here. So they acquired 35% interest in Neptune and achieved a significant influence. So we have to follow equity method. So the cost of investment. So the cost of investment is 3 lakhs. So that is the investment initial carrying amount. So initial carrying amount, cost of investment is 3 lakh. Ready? So at that time they have a net asset of 5,50,000. The fair value of those assets is 6,50,000. That means the PP has an increase of 1 lakh. That's why they in the associate books they have only book value is 5,50,000, but fair value is 6,50,000. That means there is a fair value increase of PPE. So to calculate the additional depreciation, they gave 8 years reference. So 1 lakh divided by 8. So you will get that depreciation, additional depreciation. 12,500. So which they were not covered in their SFS. They were not covered in their SFS. Now this for the financial year they have a profit PAT 1 lakh and dividend 11,000. They also recognized OCI loss 15,000. Ready? Calculate the interest in Neptune Limited. Ready? So that means they want to calculate the carrying amount of investment at the end of the year. So in equity method, we know that initially at the date of acquisition, we recognize the investment at cost, which is 3 lakh plus share of post profit. So here we have P and L. So in their books they gave 1 lakh. But mine 1 lakh. But in that they are not covered additional depreciation. So this is a small new, it's not new point. This is a point we covered many times. Just you have to think it, additional depreciation post profit. So that post profit you have to deduct 12,500. Ready? So that's it. So then you will get 87,500 into 35%. So you have to add it. Clear? Then OCI you have a loss of 15,000 into 35%. So this is you have to deduct it. Clear? Then if any dividend is paid, then that will be deducted. So when later the dividend is paid by the associate company, it will be deducted from the investment. This way, classroom discuss clear. So that's it. So 15. How much is the dividend? 11,000. So 11,000 into 35%. So this will be the answer. Ready? So that is a 4-mark question. Clear? That's it. So in short, there's a 56 mark question which they were tested. Clear? As a ditto question. That's it. So if you could cover the same topics, then you can easily earn it. Then the next 28 mark in the area, that is not exact ditto, but that's a manageable question if you cover that topics. So first questions 2B 7 mark impairment question. Clear? That's it. So listen, I'll show you that question. Yeah, there's a question. So ready? A machine was acquired 15 years ago, 20 crore. Ready? So that means the original cost is 20. Ready? And as on 31st March 24, the accumulated depreciation is 16.6. So that means 3.4 crore is a net carrying amount on 31st March 24. Now depreciation is estimated for next year. That means 24-25. So 1 crore. Now estimated NSP for 31st March 24 is 1.2, which is expected to be declined by 20%. അതായത് ഒരു വർഷം കൊണ്ട് ഈ NSP 1.2 ൽ നിന്നും 20 crore കുറയും. That means as on 31st March 24, we have 1.2. Ready? And it will be decreased by 20%. Ready? So now let's read the question first. Then value news just like that. On this date, we have a value news of 1.4 crore. 1.4 crore. That is a value news. Ready? This is NSP. That means fair value less cost to sell. This is value news. Ready? Which is to be decreased by 30%. So we have to deduct 30% if we want to calculate value news after 1 year. Ready? Now assume that other conditions relevant for the standard, for the applicability of are satisfied, and no impairment test was carried till 31st March 24. That means till 31st March 24 there was no impairment testing. Ready? Now what is their question? What should be the carrying amount on 31st March 25, which is very easy. 31st March 24, we have a net carrying amount of 3.5 minus depreciation for 24-25, 1. So then you can easily get 2.4. So that means you can score 2 mark easily. Ready? Now how much will be the impairment loss on this date? So that means if impairment testing was done on this date, that means before that there was no impairment testing. If impairment testing was done on this date, what will be the impairment loss? So you have to calculate the recoverable amount. So for that you have to calculate the valueness and NSP after 1 year. So you have to deduct 20%. So when you deduct 20%, you will get 96 lakh. That is a NSP 1.140 minus you will get 30%. Ready? Just a minute. If you deduct 30% from this amount, how much? 1.4 minus 30%, you will get 98 lakhs. So out of that 98, 96, 98 is a 90 is a recoverable higher amount. So 98 lakh is the recoverable amount, and the carrying amount on the 31st March 25 is 2.4. So 2.4 crore minus 98 lakh. That means you will get around 142 lakh. That will be the impairment loss. And this is a simple impairment loss question. Ready? But exam pressure ningaladu vaichu manasilakkiyal simple aayittu cheyyavunnathey ullu. Ready? Now if the value in use was zero, but the company was required to incur a cost of 8 lakh to dispose a plant, compute the carrying amount of machine and impairment loss was zero, and the company is required to incur a cost of 8 lakh to dispose the plant. So actually dispose means when it is retired, that means actually our asset worthless avumbo. When it worthless, we have to dispose it. So for that we have to pay 8 lakhs. So that means at that time you have to assume that dispose we will have NSP 0. Ready? NSP 0 on and we have to pay 8 lakh to selling cost. That means minus 8 lakh will be the NSP. Minus 8 lakh will be the NSP, and 0 is a value in use. So minus 8 lakh and 0, out of that higher amount is 0. So that means the complete 2.4 crore shall be taken as 2 crore will be the carrying amount, but impairment loss will be the entire 2.4. But sometimes കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ചിലപ്പോൾ NSP 1.2 ആണ്, അതിൽ നിന്നും 8 ലാക്ക് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ, ആ ഒരു കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ ഉണ്ടായിട്ട് ചിലപ്പോൾ അത് തെറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യേണ്ട ലോജിക് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ when an asset become retired, that means we have to I mean when it is worthless you will get only NSP 0. Ready? So but I don't know how the ICMA material will solve this question, but in my perspective and in the SOIS I see it, the same kind of question they tested in CA under AS 28. I'll show you the reference. Ready? So this is a question they tested in CA under. Ready? Same kind of question you see in the screen. I'm not reading it. Clear? That's it. So yeah, the same kind of question they are testing here. So in this material they gave the answer like I said. I'm not going into that. Ready? And this is a question you just apply the I mean if you have that presence of mind, you can do it easily. Ready? So that's it. Ready? At least to 4 mark you can score. Ready? Now the next discussion is goodwill question. That's it. So beautiful question. Actually, I personally appreciate this question. So here you have to value a super profit goodwill for 3 years. So for that you have to calculate the capital employed. So for that, and FMP. So for that they give last year net profit PAT. Ready? So PP, I'm not doing it in detail way. Ready? But I'll just give you some hints. Ready? PP are understated 6,70,000. So that means a revaluation increase 6,70,000 and an additional depreciation due to. So this we have to deduct as a future adjustment while we calculate FMP. Then company is doing an NRR is 10% on capital employed. So they are not specified closing capital employed or average capital employed. So if you done average capital employed or closing capital employed, so I think personally they have to give the mark for whatever the answer. So because you have a right to take an assumption. Ready? You can go with that. But I personally say if you have a opportunity to take average capital employed, you have to do that. So in my sense, we have all the information to take average capital employed. So I'll show you. And for the valuation purpose, stock is to be considered at market price. Market price is just taken as this is a 90% of market value. Clear? That's it. So that means we have to take a reverse calculation. Clear? Then they just give. So okay, in the balance sheet they gave assets PPE. And there is a non-trade investment. So you have to calculate the non-trade investment income on this face value. And there is a non-current asset, but which is a fictitious asset because share issue expense. So you have to understand that's a fictitious assets, a share issue expense. Ready? Clear? Yeah. That's it. Now inventory trade receivable. So here then liability trade payable, but there is no issue here, current tax. So first you have to calculate the FMP. So I'll just give you some hints. So when you do the FMP, they gave a hint, extra hint, that last year profit they give, but for previous 3 years the profit has been increasing at 70% per annum. Now on third year this is a profit. Now you can reverse it by using. So since they are not giving any answers until this point, I'm not saying a correct solution because there is a lot of assumption and ambiguity. So let's wait till the ICMAI answer key. But in my perspective, there's a very last year profit, so you have to reverse it by deducting 70 and 70. From that, this is a PAT. So either you can do a PBT by doing PAT divided by 50%. Then you have to deduct non-trade investment. Then you will get the adjusted PBT. Then you have to deduct. Then you have to do average adjusted PBT. Then you have to deduct additional profit. Then you will get FMP before tax. Then you deduct FMP. There is no preference dividend or like that. So that is a FMP trick. Now. Then you have to calculate the capital employed. For that, PP currently this is the value and revaluation increase. Then non-trade investment, which we will not take it. Then share issue expense, that's a fictitious asset, we will never take it. Stock you have to do reverse calculation 90%, then you will get 7 lakh. Trade receivable you take, cash you take, then you deduct trade payable and PFT, then you will get closing capital employed. From that. If you calculate average capital employed, you have to deduct half of last year adjusted PAT. So here last year profit is 3,36,000, but from that you have to deduct adjustment. Ready? So you can do either PBT or like that. So this is not the correct. Either you can simply add add what that's a post-tax non-trade investment, or you just convert this is into PBT, then you deduct non-trade investment, then you will get last year adjusted PBT, then you deduct tax. Ready? Or you can simply do 3.36 lakh minus non-trade investment into post-tax, that means 0.50 percentage. Then you calculate the half of it, then you will get average capital employed. But if a student was not done this part, and then if they go to closing capital employed, and if you correctly written that assumption, we are going with closing capital employed, then the institute should give the mark to you also. Ready? So let's wait what would be their answer. Ready? So that's it. If you could do that way, this is the answer which you can solve. Ready? So I'm not doing exact solution. Ready? Now the next question was a step back question and a consolidation question, 14 mark question. Clear? So this was this question. It was a beautiful question. So but that's a good question. So first Testa Limited sells car. They want to foray into two-wheeler. Foray means they want to acquire two-wheeler. So for that, they are investing 30% first. So that means at that time, no control. And then again in the same year, they purchasing on 31st March 25, 5 lakh. So no control to control. So no control to control. Ready? 5 lakh. Then they give the balance sheet. Here we have PP, financial assets. There is an investment which is a carrying amount 10 lakh, and investment in corporate bonds. Ready? Then they gave all the assets, equity and liability. Ready? Now Mahananda Limited sells motorcycle under a brand name Moving. That means our subsidiary company is has a brand name called Moving Star, which has a fair value of 3,50,000 on that date. As this is a self-generated brand, therefore Mahananda Limited has not recognized this brand in the books. Ready? Okay, so remember this could be taken as a self-generated goodwill. Ready? പക്ഷെ അത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സ്പാർക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ എന്നറിയില്ല. So then now coming into that, the other one, Mahananda Limited, they gave PP and investment in corporate bonds, so they gave the fair value. Other assets and liability no change. Now pass a journal entry to give the effect of business combination on the acquisition date. That means when we acquire 25% again, it's a no control to control step back question journal entry you have to pass. That means assets at fair value to liability at fair value to PZ and to previously held interest which is 10 lakh. Ready? To NCI you have to measure I think there a fair value method. Then there will be a goodwill or GOBP. Ready? Then you have to prepare a balance sheet, a complete balance sheet. Then after this entry, the scene is like a complete. So there you have to take 45% NCI, 55% control. Clear? That is a no on date of question. Then it is a complete reserve will be pre. So you have to do a question like that. But this exam hall നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ എന്ന് അറിയില്ല. ബട്ട് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്സ് ഉള്ള ആൾക്ക് മാത്രമേ ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആക്ച്വലി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. ഐ പേഴ്സണലി ഫീൽ ദാറ്റ്സ് എ മാനേജബിൾ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ, ബട്ട് ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ എക്സാം പ്രഷേഴ്സിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ എന്ന്. ബട്ട് ഇഫ് യു നിങ്ങൾ കൂളായിട്ട് ചിന്തിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന, ക്ലാസ് കേട്ടിട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ് ഇത്. നൗ they are testing a new question. I personally feel this is a surprising question, especially EVA question 7A. So especially EVA, which is not covering in their material in detail, but we done past test paper questions, but this question was not that. EVA and MWED, this was I personally feel that's a surprising new question. Clear? That's it. But നിങ്ങൾ ബോത്ത് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഒക്കെ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ബോത്ത് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന കുട്ടികളാണെങ്കിൽ ഇതേ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എവിടെ കവർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്? SFM കവർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. റെഡി? സോ അത്തരം കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഇത് അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പാർട്ട് ഫ്രം ദാറ്റ് ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ. റെഡി? ദാറ്റ്സ് ഇറ്റ്. Then there is a financial instrument question 4A. So in short this was a total analysis. So now I have to comment about the paper from my side. Ready? Now first of all, before commenting the paper, actually this June 25 is their question setting is just a previous year similar kind of outline. So usually they test MCQ from in this most of the and some valuation question, and then they will the first question they usually, if you take the previous year question papers, they usually test PP and impairment. Again they tested. Then in this 115 then a goodwill question, then a financial instrument question, then a consolidation question. Actually this time they tested 32 or 34 mark question from consolidation. Actually this is a business combination part, this question 5, but that is a consolidation they require, they want to do it. Clear? So that's it. Then usually they test an equity method question at the last, and they will give a 15 mark around theory. So the outline is same, there's no surprise in the outline. Ready? So but now what is my comment? നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണ് എന്നല്ല ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത്. I'm saying how what is a CFR comment in my side. Ready? So I usually say a paper like this. Ready? So this I was discussed in my YouTube channel. So if a paper they're testing 80 and above, we can say a ditto question, that means familiar question from the sources, then that's an easy paper. But 60 to 80 that is a moderate, but 70 above unfamiliar question, that's a super tough. By using this definition, let's analyze the paper. Ready? Genuinely analyze. Ready? So you just check it. I said all the clarities. Now you can see a 24 mark a ditto or easy question from MCQ and 56. So that means total 24 plus 56. That's a familiar question. 80 mark question. That's a easy question, familiar question, ditto questions. Now as per my definition, the paper should be an easy paper, and some of the students also said the same opinion. But maybe your exam hold pressure കാരണം, and especially ഈ 80 മാർക്ക് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചിലപ്പോൾ അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല, ഒരു ചോയ്സ് ലീവ് വേണം എന്നുള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു 7 മാർക്ക് അറിയുന്ന ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ യു ഹാവ് ടു ലീവ് ഇറ്റ്. സോ if I take that 7 mark as a provision, around 73 mark is a question which is a familiar. So as per my definition, this definition, this is a paper I can say moderate. Ready? But venamengil you can say this is a easy, but I personally feel this should be saying it as a moderate paper. Ready? But if you feel this is easy, then there will be a time consuming issue, there will be, because especially if you did that 14 mark question. Clear? So എൻ്റെ ക്ലാസ് കേട്ടിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പറിൽ ബെറ്റർ സ്ട്രാറ്റജി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, ഒന്ന്, യു ഹാവ് ടു എലിമിനേറ്റ് this question as an option 5, because that is better in my sense, because it will take a lot of time maybe നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാൻ. ബട്ട് ഇത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നതാണ് കേട്ടോ. പക്ഷെ 2 14 മാർക്ക് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴേക്കുള്ള ടൈം ഒക്കെ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് പിന്നെ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ലീവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത് ഒന്നെങ്കിൽ ഇവയുടെ ആ സെവൻത്ത് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഒന്നുകിൽ ലീവ് ചെയ്യാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ഇൻസ്ട്രുമെന്റിന്റെ ഒക്കെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ, അതായത് 4, ഇതാണ് ലീവ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഒരു ബെറ്റർ സ്ട്രാറ്റജി ഇൻ മൈ ആംഗിൾ. പക്ഷെ അത് നിങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ച ഏരിയ ഒക്കെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടിരിക്കും. സോ ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ യോർ പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ. റെഡി? ഐ കനോട്ട് സേ ദാറ്റ്. റെഡി? സോ ദാറ്റ്സ് ഇറ്റ്. സോ ഇൻ ഷോർട്ട്, what I have to say about the paper, simply I'll say as a paper is like a moderate paper. Ready? So but it is almost almost closest to easy paper, because I said almost 80 mark. And now if you covered entire portions correctly at least 2 to 3 times and you practice it, then you can easily score a 60 mark out of this paper. Ready? Because out of this unknown question or new question, you can leave 28 mark because there is an option. Clear? That's it. So scoring exemption is I think that's not a nightmare in this paper. പക്ഷേ എസ്പെഷ്യലി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എക്സാം ഹോളിൽ സ്ട്രെസ് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ നിങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇത് മാനേജ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഇത് സ്ട്രെസ് വരാതിരിക്കാൻ നിങ്ങൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം എന്നൊക്കെ ഞാൻ കൃത്യമായിട്ട് എൻ്റെ യൂട്യൂബിൽ ഒരു വീഡിയോ ഇട്ടിരുന്നു, നിങ്ങളത് വാച്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവും എന്ന് കരുതുന്നു. ആൻഡ് സം ഓഫ് ദ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ഒപ്പൈൻ ദാറ്റ് ദിസ് ഇസ് എ സൂപ്പർ ടഫ് പേപ്പർ. ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ ഹൗ ദേ കുഡ് സേ ഇറ്റ്. I just proved it. This is what I have to say. Clear? So in short, I'll say this paper is like a moderate, and you could score a 60 plus if you covered the entire portions and if you barely manage the exam hall. Ready? If you see some unfamiliar question, if you shocked and if you have that tension, I don't know what you did. Ready? But otherwise you could do it. Now scoring a 15 mark is, I think everybody could do that. അതായത് ഈ പേപ്പറിൽ ഒരു 50 മാർക്ക് വാങ്ങുക, അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് 40 മാർക്ക് എവ്രിബഡി ക്യാൻ ഡു ദാറ്റ്. 50 മാർക്ക് വാങ്ങുക എന്നുള്ളത് ഒരിക്കലും ഒരു വലിയ ടാസ്ക് ഉള്ള പേപ്പർ അല്ല. പക്ഷെ ഒരു 70+ ഒക്കെ വാങ്ങണം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ I think you should have that kind of capacity. But 60 mark, if you sit in my classes and if you correctly obey the follow up, then you can easily score 60 mark. But in short, my comment about the paper, I'll say moderate or almost closest to easy paper. Ready? Now, last but not the least, all the exams are done. Ready? Now you have to do. First of all, you just relax. All the exams are done. Ready? Now, don't worry about what will be my result. Just leave the rest to the God. Ready? And now, don't forget to enjoy the post-exam time. Spend your time, quality time with the family, friends, society, and you do what you want to do. So just relax. Iniyum ningal tension avarudhu. So this is what I have to say in this video. I'm stopping this video. So I clearly said all the clarity with the fact and with the proof. Ready? So this is what I said. So adinayirunnu njan kaathirunnathu. Clear? Okay, now the comment about the valuation, I personally feel that since it's a moderate paper valuation will not be tough. I mean very hard paper valuation. I think personally no. And there is any moderation or something like that, adum ningal expect cheyirudhu. It's a real valuation you have to expect, genuinely say. And stepwise mark they should give it. Ready? So I don't know valuation idana varia ennallathu individually namukku parayan pattillalo. So but that's it. So this is what I have to say in this video. Ready? So I think everybody is okay. Now this is the last video related to June 25. So now we will upload each questions detailed solution after the institute release their suggested answer. So aduvarekum bye bye, signing off. CA Ramshad here. Thank you.